Hey everybody, welcome to our first virtual music class. I've been thinking about things that would be fun for us to try to do from a distance with you at your home and me at my home. And I think I've got some ideas here that'll be a lot of fun for us to try out. If you remember back earlier in the year, we started doing compositions. So we were using the music knowledge that you already have in terms of notes, note values, rhythms, things like that, and keys. And we were starting to create our own compositions. And we were looking at the rules for compositions and how to make them interesting and how to make them sound the way we wanted them to. So we're going to try to go further with that now, using the knowledge we already have and then maybe gaining some new knowledge along the way and using some online software to help us write our compositions and even hear our compositions. So let's dive in. We're going to start with a quick review of a form we used earlier in the year to create compositions. This is called ternary form. Ternary form is when you have an A section, a B section, and then the A section returns again. So it's 3 parts, but the first and last part are the same or at least very similar. So let's look at an example of this.
I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I?
Oh, sorry. It's just a really beautiful song. So as you can see in that example, there was an A section and then they repeated it again. There was a repeat sign at the end so she could sing a little bit more. But then the B section was a real contrast. And then the A section came back again at the end. So we're going to try to start with compositions just like this in A, B, A, or ternary form. So what you see here is going to look a little bit familiar to you because it's similar to what we used earlier in the year to kickstart our compositions. This one's a little bit more in-depth and takes you a little bit further, but it's just a guideline. Get creative with it and see what you can come up with. So let's read it together. Use the measures below to create your composition. In a second, you're going to see that there are measures down below that you can write on if you print off this form. Your composition will be in ternary form, ABA. Each section should be 8 to 16 bars long. So you can choose 8 bars for the A section, 8 bars for the B, and then the A again. It's up to you. You can make it longer if you want. Be sure to include a key signature. So let's stick with F major for this one. If you want to go off on your own and try a different key, you can. But I'm going to be talking about everything in terms of F major here. A time signature. For this one, I would use 3/4 or 4/4, but it's up to you. You can choose. Then some of the reminders that we had from the last time. What key are we in? As we write the music, we want to think about what key we're in. We want to think about phrases that come home, right? That come back to do. So if we're using F major, F is do. Remember, if we're in the key of F, F is do. If we're in the key of C, C is do. If we're in the key of hot dogs and hamburgers are do. We want to use a variety of rhythms and pitches to keep things interesting. Last time you guys were really great at coming up with patterns in your notes, patterns in rhythm, patterns in pitches. Keep that up. That was really good. Patterns in the notes can also be very nice. If you write this out, if you print the sheet out that I'm going to show you below, you want to make sure you write neatly. Remember the rules for writing so that we know we could hand it to another musician and they would be able to read it and perform it on their instrument. Lastly, give your piece a title and write your name as the composer, because you are the composer. Now, you might want to do all of this on Noteflight, which I'm going to show you in just a second. So you could either print off this paper that you're going to see, and there'll be all these blank measures down below that you can fill in, write it in by hand, just like we did at school. You could then scan that or take a picture of it and send it to me, and I'll make a recording of it. I'll send it back to you. I'll give you some feedback. I'll play it on the piano. I'll let you know what your composition sounds like. The other possibility that you could do is noteflight.com. Now I've got a tutorial video for that, so that's a separate video, but I'll start a composition of my own following these directions using noteflight.com. Okay, so I've gone to noteflight.com and I've created an account for myself. Now, I said this in the tutorial, but to use this website, you have to sign up with an email address. It's a free account and you can register as a student when you do it. But you should check with your family first before doing this. Make sure that they're okay with that. You can always just print off and do this by hand. Noteflight is not necessary, but it is a fun tool if you want to try it out. But please check with your families before you do this. So my mom said it was okay. So I've signed up for my free account and I've gone in and I'm gonna create a composition here. So first thing I need to be able to do is put in my key signature. So if I look right here at this box with 3 sharps on it, it's change key signature. I'm gonna click on that. I said I want my composition to be an F. So as soon as I hit okay, boom, that pops up there. And we're already in 4/4 time. You can change that if you want, but you don't have to. Then I'm gonna start putting in notes to help me out. Now, if you look up above here, you'll see there are note values to put in. So I'm gonna start by saying, well, let's say, oh, I don't know, I want an A. I'm gonna click on the A space. Now I can move that up and down with my arrow keys if I want to. Or I can just punch a letter in by hitting the button on the keyboard. So I hit a B to put in a B, a C to put in a C. Oh, let's make the next one back down to B. And let's say I want that A to be a half note. I'm gonna go up here and just click half note, and suddenly it turns it into. So I did this already. I went through and created a composition. So let's see if I can pull that up here now. I'm gonna click on this button over here. I'm gonna go to my scores. Yes, I can leave this page. And in my scores, I created this handy dandy 8 bars. So this was my first A section that I had put in. I haven't put in a title or anything else yet, so this is still a work in progress. But I'm gonna go up to play. So if I like that, which I kind of do, I could leave it and go on to my B section, trying to make something that contrasts it, that's a little bit different. Or I could go back and make some changes, see if I like one thing better than another. This is where your creativity comes in. It's nice to use Noteflight because then you can hear it in real time as you do it. So you can use your solfege skills as well as hearing the computer play it back. When you're all done, there is an option to save your music. You can also, if you go to this button here with the cloud with the down arrow, it says export, and you can save a full score PDF. So I would highlight that and click continue, and then you'll have it saved. You could send me your piece in a PDF, email it to me at my school email. There is also a way to download the audio, but not all computers might be set up to do that because it's a MIDI file. So it might not work for all of you, but you could still just take your phone or another recording device, have the computer play it back and record it onto your phone or something like that. So you can share it with your friends, send to each other, share your compositions, share them with me. I need some new music to listen to. And let me know if you have any questions. Have fun with this, get creative with it. And I can't wait to see what you come up with. Send them to me, okay? I want to hear. I'm all ears. Bye, everybody.